Welcome to Unit 4. Here we're going to have a look at SDG 16, Peace, Justice and Strong Institutions. Before I get into the details about SDG 16, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the format that we're going to use for each of the SDGs in this program. So each unit will have 5 blocks, and the blocks are broken down in a particular structure. So block 1 will be an introduction to the goal, its overall aims and objectives. Block 2 will be an exploration of the targets and the indicators, and we'll have a look at the extended report for each of the goals and explore some of the key global statistics. In Block 3, we will focus on the bigger picture and look at the global efforts and progress to date on that particular goal. In Block 4, we will focus on the more regional and local efforts, and we will, in our case, look at how Ireland is doing in relation to that goal. And in Block 5, that'll be focused on your own personal role and agency in relation to achieving the goal, and perhaps how you might advocate for the goal. So, in relation to this SDG 16, Block 1 will contain an introduction to the overall aims and objectives of SDG 16. And of course, SDG 16 covers a wide range of topics: peace, justice and strong institutions. In many ways, you could say it's one of the fundamental SDGs. Without peace, without justice, and without strong institutions to implement the mandates, it would be very difficult to have any kind of development. In Block 1, we are also going to get you to reflect on what you know about the SDG. How do you identify with the SDG? How do you think it impacts on your life personally and socially? And you will write a short reflective piece outlining what your thoughts and feelings are on the SDG. In Block 2, we take a closer look at the targets and the indicators and review some of the detailed statistics in the extended report. Here we will focus on some of the details on how the SDG is being achieved in terms of the targets and indicators, both nationally and internationally. In Block 3, Global Efforts and Progress, we will be looking at the global and international picture, and we will look at a few examples of how we are doing globally in relation to the achievement of the SDG. In this block, we're very fortunate to have a very interesting high-level discussion on SDG 16, where we get some insights on issues such as the rule of law, the role of business, the challenges of providing good governance, and also monitoring corruption. In Block 4, we look at the more regional and local efforts, and we look at how Ireland is doing in relation to the SDGs. Here, again, we have a discussion with Dr. Mark Garvin, and he gives us some of his insights in relation to how Ireland is doing in relation to SDG 16. And then finally, in Block 5, we have a look at scope for personal role. We start out with a summary of what we've looked at in relation to the goals and the targets. We'd also like you to identify some of the linkages that there are to the other SDGs, and also maybe look at identifying any groups or organizations that support the achievement of this goal. We would also like you to consider what you do or can do in your own life to support this goal. We also ask you to close the reflection that you started in Block 1 and just maybe reflect on what you've learned since you started doing the unit. So I look forward to seeing you in the next section.